We have this inner voice in our head, right? That is constantly going. And it's still going when we're singing. And it's usually the most harsh, critical, destructive, evil little thing going in your head. At least it was for me. Am I alone on that? Oh, thank God. Okay. And here's the thing. I think there's a part of us, to arrive at this place, for goodness sake, you guys are at Juilliard. Do you ever have that moment where you're like, oh, it's Juilliard? I watched movies about you guys growing up from Wichita, Kansas. I was like, Juilliard? Read books about it and everything. You guys are here, so you guys are good, conscientious, hard-working musicians. And there's a tendency to think that in order to be better and to be a good student, you have to be really hard on yourself. Which means I'm being good to myself and say, that was terrible, you can be better. No, that wasn't good, it was better 2 weeks ago. What is happening? I'm losing it, I don't have the top. And that, right? That's a familiar dialogue, right? Yeah. I've learned over the years that it is. Here's the thing. How productive and good are you being if that voice is destroying everything you're trying to put out? It is stopping you in your tracks. It is a straitjacket. It's handcuffs, it's cement blocks on your feet. That's not good enough. Well, she was better, why did she get that? Well, I can't do that yet, and I've been working on this for a month and it's not coming, and they're looking at me funny, and right? Okay? One person in here explain to me how that helps you. Explain to me how that makes you a better singer. Now, I'm not talking about being diligent in your practice. I'm not talking about not having a critical ear and eye on you. You guys know that. Criticism is what we live with. It's constant. It doesn't let up. It's always there. And the only thing people are telling you at the end of a performance or the end of a rehearsal is, that F sharp is still sharp. I know, thank you. Or that A is a little tense. I know, I'm working on it. So we get criticism all the time, and you need to be exceptional critics of yourself because you have to be outstanding. You have to be, what you guys are aspiring to do is Herculean. And you've got to be great. But there's a time to put in the work, and you do that work, and you do it the best that you can, and you do it better than you ever thought you could, and you work harder and harder and harder. And you have that conversation with yourself that you would have with the best friend sitting across from you, or even a stranger on the street. If some freshman came up to you crying, you didn't know them, and they're like, I don't know, I'm not getting right, everybody's telling me what I'm doing wrong. What would you say to that person? Oh, listen, just be patient. Let's go have a beer. Oh wait, they're not eating yet. But freshmen, let's go have a cup of tea. There you go. See, they're not gonna let me back in. And listen, all you have to do, take a break, breathe deep, you're gonna be fine, you're doing good. That's the conversation you would have with that stranger, right? Why in the world would you have a different conversation with yourself? Really? Are you that special? Oh, but I should work harder. I should know better. Really? You should know better than everybody else? Maybe, okay, whatever. But I say the conversation I prefer to have to myself is when I'm singing 100%, I am Mary, I am Rosina, I am looking at the first time at an aria, so I'm thinking breath. How do I breathe? How do I breathe? Vowel, am I phonating? Am I vibrating? Okay, good. Oh, wow, I didn't expect it to go there. Analyzing it as I go. There's no space for that evil little creature to come in. If you're fully engaged in what you're doing, there's no space for it. And the second you engage in that, you take yourself 100% out of the actual process. So what are the odds that you're going to actually succeed in that phrase or that aria or that opera? Really low. You'll do well because you're talented and you've got a strong will. But imagine putting that voice on hold and saying, you know what? This rehearsal ends at 6. I'll have a big conversation with you at 6:30, maybe 7 o'clock. Tell me everything you want then. But right now, I'm sorry, I have work to do. Tape yourself. Listen to it later and go, oh, God, sure enough, I still don't have that F sharp. There's about 100 notes in Maria Stewarda I don't have yet that I want to get better. But you know what? The only way I'm going to succeed on a given night is to be 100% there in a positive, big way. And then I go do the work. But honestly, I have yet to figure out how that voice helps us and how it doesn't simply destroy us. It's a destructive thing. So how do you pay attention to it? Start tuning into what it is, what's happening up there. Probably a lot of you are actually unaware of it, that chatter that's going. So start tuning into it. And once you do, you might, like me, be horrified at what that voice is doing. Then ask yourself, would I ever speak to another human being the way I speak to myself? I'm going to guess, no way. So just ask yourself if that's really how you want to still function in this business. Because you know what? You're spending a lot of hours rehearsing. You're spending a lot of hours performing. And if you get your dream, you're spending a lot of time on the road, a lot of time doing this. Just ask yourself if you want that mental prison going on the whole time. There's a way to be a very conscientious, brilliant student, lifelong student of this art. But destruction up there, I don't think it's the key.